Welcome to How Now, the podcast where we talk about how to live in the now. And here's your host, Kim Martin Raymond.
Peace and blessings, love and light, and welcome to this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. I am your host, Kim Martin Raymond. I am a minister, spiritual life coach, holistic nutritionist, author, and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And if this is your first time watching my show, my podcast, welcome. You're now part of the How Now family. Please go to my website, www.hownowpodcast.com. Click on your favorite podcast platform and be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. You can scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the banner for this week's show, and it'll take you to the How Now YouTube channel where you can check out my playlists like Redefining Authenticity. That's my live show. You can also check out my Tuesday, where I'm sharing scripture verse a week, and I've been doing that for the entire year of 2024. And you can also see what other things are going on in my wellness journey and things that are happening in my now. So be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe there as well. And make sure that you click that notification bell so you always know what's happening in the now. And again, that's www.hownowpodcast.com. Okay, so tonight is going to be just like any other week's show, where we're going to be talking about toolboxes and talking about ways in which we can develop into better versions of ourselves by responding and reacting to the things that are going on about around us. So I've been doing a lot of rewind Wednesdays over these last couple of weeks, sharing some of my previous shows in preparation for 2025, where we are going to be starting a 365 challenge, where we're going to be seeing how we can go about touching on physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of our lives on a daily basis, so that way they become habit and they are the things that are going to help us in being the better versions of ourselves. So tonight's show is going to be another great show that has some wonderful nuggets I'm excited to share with you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Here we go. So tonight we're going to be talking about awakening the rebel within, releasing, rebuilding, and rebranding your voice. It's important that we, as we're moving into the new year, as we're finishing up 2024, we've heard so many people talking about, you know, trying to their auntie, trying to be the best version of themselves. And, that's a process. It's something that's going to take time. And that's what we've been doing. We've been putting tools in our toolbox in preparation for just that. And so to help me to talk about releasing that rebel within is my lovely guest. And as is customary with the How Now podcast, I'm going to have her to introduce herself at this time.
Hello, everyone. I am Lady V. I am the CEO of Elliot Night Professionals and an author consultant as well. I actually am a spiritual release coach. And so I like to tell people that I'm your favorite spiritual release coach. I'm not just any release coach. I am your favorite spiritual release coach because I am the type of coach that I actually dig deep and go to the bottom of the barrel. And I pull out all the sticky stuff. See, I'm down there, you know, pulling it out, making you address it. And that's the part that we don't like to touch. But that's what I do. I'm an author consultant who actually helps new authors tell their stories, transform their lives, help them, be able to build their brand. Because it's important for us to tell our stories. Everybody has a story. And so we definitely need to tell it. I'm a lupus advocate, meaning that, hey, I have to help those that have lupus because these doctors don't kill us because they don't know nothing. They don't know anything about lupus, and they're using us as guinea pigs because they don't know, and they're trying to figure it out. But we don't have to die in the process of it. And so I'm a lupus advocate to help other Lupians go through it and get through it and know that guess what? you can be a rebel. You can fight through everything that you're going through, no matter what it may be, that it don't have you. You got it. Okay. And so we just have to look and change our mindset with things. And so that's who Lady V is, all in a nutshell, is I'm a woman of God, and after his
Yes.
own heart, but I'm about helping individuals transform and roar in their greatness.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing space with me. I think this is a wonderful topic that we're talking about. And I love that about releasing. I love the fact that you are a spiritual release coach, just allowing people to be able to express themselves. And my mantra is always making sure that we're finding ways to respond and not react to the things that are going on around us. So I hope you all got your pen and paper ready to take notes. Make sure that you rewind once the show is over, so that way you can catch all of the nuggets that I'm sure that Lady B is going to be dropping for us tonight. So let's talk first about, we said everybody has a story. So, we want to know a little bit of yours. Tell me how you started your business and how you got to this space.
Well, in 2009, well, let me rewind. I had actually been going through this journey. I had got sick and they didn't know what was wrong with me. They had literally no idea of what was wrong with me. And for 3, 4 years, I struggled in pain and in silence, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. My papas had told me, "Girl, you got lupus. You need to have this
Mm,
because it runs on his side of the family." So, of course, who would know better than him, right?
right.
But because of my stubbornness, and I'm not afraid to tell you I'm very stubborn. And I was like, "Oh, I ain't got no lupus. You ain't fit to put that on me." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He always, he always-
Right.
and true enough, I actually passed out I blacked out in his bathroom.
Oh, wow.
I just happened to be at his house. I had wrote my first book in 2010. That's when I published it, January of 2010. So January the 1st, um, you know, here I am almost 15 years in the game. So January the 1st. And so I'm really honored to even be able to say that for 15 years I've been an author, and it feels like yesterday. But
Mhm.
I decided to write my story in the beginning because it was something that I needed to tell, but something that I needed to release and get rid of.
Yeah.
And I thought that was gonna help me. I thought that was gonna help me, and it really did. It really, it just allowed me to know that I'm a good writer, that I can write, and so that's what I wanted to do. That was my passion. But I was molested at 8. By the age of 10, I was basically kicked out of my house, and I was angry, and I was mad. I was furious. I had all these things bottled up in me that I just needed to let go. And I thought I was going to be able to do that in my book, but in my book I was
Oh,
so cautious of what I said because I come from an era where what happens in this house stays in this house. And so even though I wanted to tell all my story, it was real choppy because
mm,
I couldn't touch on everything like I wanted to because I was afraid of what people were gonna say.
mm,
And so it wasn't the best. I got screwed. And so this is the reason why I also went into business for myself, to help do authors, is because
yeah.
as a new author, I got beat out of $5,000 that I didn't
Wow.
have. But I came up with it because I was determined to do that. And my story wasn't edited. I got I had to choose between 6 covers. It was so,
Mm,
they told me that these are all the things they were going to do, and they didn't do any of that. And then 6 months after I had got it published, 6 months later, it was gone. They were
oh,
out of business.
wow.
I had no bill.
Wow.
I had no anything. And so I just was like, what do I do? I could have
Right.
stopped. I could have just been like, you know what? This is it. But I was like, you know what? No. I kept going and I found a different way. And I learned the business. I literally figured it out and learned it on my own. Even when I was reaching out to people and they didn't want to help me.
Right.
They didn't want to reach back. They didn't want to give me the necessary tools so I could succeed. And
Right.
so what I did was I sat back. I took 3 years off. And I ain't gonna say I took 3 years off, but I actually took 3 years of learning the craft, learning
Mhm.
how to do this, learning how to publish on my own, learning all the things that I needed to do. I learned. And so I did that and I learned how to be a good author and I learned how to, do the business and not screw over other people and allow people to give them a voice
Right.
to do this, but it was still something missing. It was still that little thing that was missing.
Mm.
And that's because I wasn't healed. I was still holding on to this hurt. And so
Right.
I was still going through this journey where I was just lost and I was confused and I was mad. And, I felt like God had took the only person who really loved me, which was my grandmother. And when she passed, I went on basically a suicide mission. And, and somebody said, well, what's a suicide mission? A suicide mission is where you will do almost basically anything and everything, and then you never know which thing's gonna take you out.
Mm.
You know, I did try to commit suicide. I did, from taking pills and taking drugs that I normally don't take ever, just to die. You know, I and God just never took me. As you see, I'm still here. I didn't wake up
That's
dead.
right.
Okay,
That's
I'm
right.
really alive. Okay,
That's right. That's right. That's
so
right.
I'm still here. And so I knew he must have had a purpose for me. He must have
Absolutely.
had something just for little old me because I'm still here, Lord.
Yeah.
Why? Why? And what is it that I'm supposed to be doing other than taking all this hurt and this pain and this abuse that I'm taking? Like, what
Right.
is it? And then I got so sick that again, I really I didn't have anything. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have people. I didn't have a support team. I didn't have anything and God was just like, who you gonna trust? Who you gonna hold on to?
Right.
And here I am, so busy wanting man to love me, wanting man to save me, wanting man to help me out of the tragedy that I was in. And a lot of it I was putting myself in because I knew no better.
Right.
you
Right.
know? And I was putting myself through these things instead of just letting it go. But I was trusting in man. When God told me in his basic instructions, do not be conformed to the world.
That's right.
Be trust in me. Show
Right.
trust in man, trust in me wholeheartedly. But I couldn't see that. I couldn't understand that because I needed man to help me. So God said, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna drop you in the forest. And then we're gonna see who you're gonna depend on then.
Mm.
And I sat in that forest a long time, y'all. I mean, I cried a many days. And he just sat there,
Waiting.
just waiting. See, we always think we waiting on God. Oh Lord, I'm waiting on you. Lord, you ain't answering me. Lord, I need you. I need you. Help me, Lord. Where you at? Da 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 da. And in reality, it ain't us waiting on him. It's him waiting on us because we haven't surrendered.
That's right.
We haven't said, Lord, okay. I got to give it all to you because I can't do this by myself.
That's it.
And some of y'all saying right now, well, I told God that I was going to do this. I did surrender. Well, no, you didn't surrender. And I'm going to tell you why you didn't surrender. Because as soon as you prayed about it, 5 minutes later, you went back and put your hand in the cookie jar and told God, hold on, Lord, I'm going to take this back for just 1 second. I'll give it back to you in a minute. But I just need to hold on to this one more second.
Right.
I can fix this real
Right.
fast. I can take care of this one sec. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do. We keep putting our hands in the cookie jar and then wonder
That's
why
it.
things are still messed up. Why God is like, well, if you can fix it, then go ahead. Let me see how it worked for you.
We don't listen for that still small voice. We
Exactly.
don't. You
And
know, we say it with our mouth, but then we don't walk in it.
because we
We're not
don't
walking.
trust it.
That's right.
We don't trust the process. We don't trust that God will stand on his promises and do everything that he said he was going to do.
Mhm.
We don't
Yeah,
trust it
that's
because
it.
we don't know what's on the other side of the fence. But what's so crazy is we don't know. But a lot of times we'll go on the other side of the fence because we think the grass is greener.
That's right. How about that? How about
So
that?
let's
It's
talk
that
about it.
same creeping grass on that other side of that fence.
Exactly. Exactly. We backwards. Like we got to figure out, how to understand how to move forward and not backwards.
Right, right.
And a lot of times that's what we're doing because we think we're right and we're not.
That's
And
it.
so when I learned how to literally trust God and hear his voice, then I started to navigate my way out the door. But I couldn't do it until I actually literally put my whole trust in God and literally just was like surrendered. I just was like, I'm done, God. I'm
That's right.
tired. This is it. I can't. Where are you? I need you. He said, yeah. And I'm still sitting right here. Are you willing to listen? Because
Right.
I can tell you how to get out of there, but you got to listen. You have to be
That's it.
willing to listen. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to follow directions, not your direction.
Right, right.
And
Like you
sometimes
said, they,
we follow those directions. We want to
right.
we want to do it our way because we
That's
think
right.
our way is the right way. But
Right.
he tells us in his basic instruction, your plan ain't my plan, and I got a plan for you.
That's
And
it.
it's the best plan.
That's it. We say we can't hear over the noise, and like you said, sometimes it's that we're the ones that are the clanging bell. And we're clanging so loud, I can't hear you, Lord. I don't know what you're saying. And we're the ones standing in the background, ding, 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 ding. We're the ones doing it. We're the
Yep.
ones doing it. I love
It,
that you say that because that's exactly what happens. We don't take the time to step back. I love that you said, that you had to, you had to be out in the forest. Things had to be taken away before you were able to, because now there was nothing to grapple for. There was nothing
exactly.
to reach for.
Nope.
Now it's just a matter of I can't reach for anything. My trust lies in you,
Yep.
and that's something that's so critical. We have the tools inside of us. He left his Holy Spirit inside of us, and we forgot that
Exactly.
he was there. It was like,
Exactly.
hello, I'm in here, and,
Yeah.
and so it goes right back to those toolboxes. We have all of those things inside of us, and we're saying, I've got all these tools, but I have no idea how to use them. But it doesn't mean that what's going on doesn't need to be fixed.
Exactly.
So at some point, yes, we have to call out. And sometimes, like you said, it's not man that we have to call out on. We have to call on spirit,
Yeah.
in order for him to answer those questions. I absolutely, loved the portions that you've shared so far because, you've been a survivor. You've been one who has overcome. And, from that, you've been able to respond and not react. You reacted when went on your suicide mission. But then you realize, okay, when you learned better, you did better, and
Exactly.
you were able to use the tools that you needed to get you out of that forest because we all have that internal navigation system. It's in there and it's just recalculating, waiting for us. There's a way. It's not a what now, it's a how now.
Exactly.
How am I going to navigate out of this? But there's hope in that statement. How?
Exactly.
How now? How am I going to deal with this now? How am I going to create my peaceful existence or our peaceful existence? That's the acronym for cope. How are we going to cope to get
Exactly.
out of this? Because there is a way, there is hope, there is, and that comes with understanding. Just
It
like you
does.
said with that 3 years, you took time to learn about your book. You took time to learn about being an author and what
Mm,
it took and what it entailed. And you knew it for yourself. That's where the confidence comes in to be able to keep going. That's
mhm.
how we learn to respond and not react. We don't give up. But we say, how are we going to go about doing this? And I mean, and what you've spoken about so far is a testimony to just that. So
Mhm.
I absolutely love that that you share this and that you have a willingness to not only keep it to yourself, but to share it with others.
Already,
Mhm.
already. I just feel like why hold it when God gave us the knowledge to share? You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
go through things. It's kind of like, how will people ever know how good God is if we never share it? If we never tell and share our testimony, because
right.
we all been through something. Some of us still going through a whole lot of stuff. I just learned how to find my peace. I learned how to find my freedom by letting go, by
Yeah,
releasing things that was hurting me, releasing the things that no longer served its purpose with me. And they say, well, how do you release? You just let it go. But I have tools, see, to show you how to let these things go.
yeah,
From doing the, I like to call it release the balloons.
yeah.
And it's basically an assignment where you literally just write all the things that you want to release. And then you
Hmm.
take one thing, buy it, at a time. Because a lot of times as people, we want to do everything at the same time.
Right,
You know, we multitaskers.
right,
Some of us multitask better than others. But when it comes to fixing our lives, we
right,
can't multitask. That's what got us in the problem that we in anyway. Because
right,
we were multitasking,
right,
doing it our way.
right. You have to be able, like you said, to put one foot in front of the other. Take that
Mhm,
elephant one bite at a time. We
mhm.
try to do too much, and that's where we get to a place of overwhelm. Because now it's like
Exactly.
I can't do it because it's too much.
It's too
When
much.
we just need to take one step. We need to do
Exactly.
one little thing and then celebrate that victory. Then be
Exactly.
able to take that next step because that's how we take that next step. When we see some semblance of progress, then we're like, okay, we're encouraged to move forward. But when we don't, and we say, oh, it's too much, I can't do it, and we give up, we
Yep.
haven't even given ourselves an opportunity to cheer ourselves on, you know?
Exactly. That's
And
because
that
we
and
try
that's
to take
unfortunate.
on too much. We try to, I call it the Superman, Superwoman syndrome. We want to be super women and supermen. And at the end of the day, that job already taken, baby. And he didn't want it. Okay. Let me
That's
just say
right.
that.
That's right.
That's just like everybody want to be Cinderella. Why? Cinderella already taken that she didn't want it.
Right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right. I
like
love that you say
we
that's a
have to
valid
be
point.
mindful of the positions and the roles that we're trying to play and where we're trying to be. And for
Right.
me, I don't want to be a superwoman. I just want to be Lady V. I
That's it.
just want to be me. I don't want to hold up to all these labels and all these things. That's how I gain my freedom because I'm not trying to be what Kim needs me to be.
That's right.
I'm being what Lady V needs to be. I can't be what my mama want me to be, what my daddy need me to be. I can't hold up to all these expectations.
Right.
And a
Right.
lot of times we so busy trying to hold up to man's expectations that we lose ourselves in it. And then we lose the fact that if God wanted us to be all these things, don't you think he would have made us like this anyway?
That's right. That's right.
He say,
That's right.
come to me. Do. I'm so busy trying to please God that I ain't got time to please me. Period.
All right. Amen.
You know,
That's
that's
right.
just I'm too
That's
busy
right.
trying to get to heaven and trying to get to where I need to be that I have to stay focused on the task. I have to stay focused on the assignment.
Right.
And if I'm pleasing man because I need some type of validation that God already gave me, I'm just really defeating the purpose. Because
That's
man
it.
will never validate you the way you think that man will.
No, they won't. They won't. But we're quick to agree with them about the things that they say about us.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
why why are we giving people that much power and authority over who we are? Because
Oh,
once we agree with them about who we are and how we are supposed to be and what we're supposed to be, we've taken away our own power
we have.
and given it to someone else. We've
We have.
given them the things that trigger us. We've given them the button to push. We've
Exactly.
given them the things that they need to harm ourselves. And we started that. We
Exactly.
started that whole cycle. And so it's like, we have to be able to dig within. We have to be able to be confident in ourselves and who we are and what our
Mm,
values and what our beliefs are and be able to stand 10 toes down on it.
okay.
And if we don't, we're in a world of trouble. We're setting ourselves up for for disappointment, for levels of stress that don't have to be there
Mm-mm.
because we've allowed them to be there. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
that is
Exactly.
tough. It's a tough space to be in, you know.
Oh,
But the one thing that I think is important to, and I want you to talk about this as well, is the importance of, when we have those pivots that come, those periods, those things that come in our lives, those paradigm shifts, and what we do with those things when they happen. Okay, so let's
mm,
talk a little bit about pivots and what that means, or what we should be doing when we reach points in our life where we feel like things are just about to change, or things are needing to go in a different direction.
well, first of all, we have to be mindful that change is good. Some of us is just afraid to change. Some of us is afraid to accept the change. And you have to know that change is good. Stop looking at it as, oh my gosh, we gotta, you might enjoy the change if you accept the change.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? If you feeling stagnant because you're refusing to change,
right,
you're refusing to grow.
right.
You know, it's like Peter Pan. You want to keep being that kid, but you ain't Benjamin Button. You gotta grow up.
Right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta grow up. And
Right,
so you have to know that change is good. And and that life is gonna keep life. It ain't gonna stop just because you at a moment or just because you at this point in your life where things are starting to look up. Because things
right.
is gonna, prime example, I'm gonna use just for me today. I've had 7 meetings today. For seven,
Wow.
the number 7 for me means completion. So today, after
Yes.
I finish this, I'm completed my
Yes.
job for the day. And I'm all right with that. However, in those 7, I've had to deal with tardiness, lateness, things happening. My aide, somebody just slashed her tire. Just right before I come over here, somebody just stole my neighbor's shoes. You know what I'm saying? That she just and they just dropped them off. So she didn't
Wow.
even get to the door fast enough. And then they playing with my internet over here. So I don't know why. I don't know if they got the wrong one, if they did the wrong house. I don't know what happened, but now they talking about that my internet is not on and working, and then
Wow.
they talking about that I have to wait till Monday.
Right.
I
So
got I got I got 2 shows I gotta do. I got work I gotta do. I got stuff that needs to be done, and I could be over here panicking. Oh my God, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? But guess what? Life is life. It ain't gonna stop life.
right.
And
Right.
stuff I gotta do ain't gonna just not I have to figure that out. So I'm not
That's
gonna
right.
go into a panic mode.
Right.
I'm going to a solution mode.
That's it.
So
Come on.
okay, you say that I ain't gonna have no internet for the weekend? Cool. My phone acting like it don't want to cook because I pay for hotspot. So every
Right.
every device that I
Right.
own should be
Right.
connected to my hotspot.
Right.
It's telling me that my laptop won't connect.
Mm.
And it keeps saying that, but everything else in my house is connected.
Right.
But my cameras, they won't connect. So I can't see who stole my neighbor's shoe. I can't
Right.
see who slashed my aide's tire. All of
Right.
this is happening in one day. I could have been
Right.
like, oh girl, well, girl, it's too much stuff going on. I'm trying to cook. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably about to burn up something now, but you know what I'm saying? Baby, I'm supposed to get up. So I'm just, it's a
Right.
solution to everything. All
That's right.
the stuff is happening, but I
Right.
am not gonna let it defeat me. I'm gonna go with the flow of things, which means that, hey,
Right.
baby, sorry that I can't tell you who slashed the tire and who stole your shoes right now. But what I
Right.
do know that justice will be served.
That's right. That's right.
Justice will be served because
That's
God
right.
say, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm.
Amen.
And so you
Amen.
ain't doing nothing to nobody. You in here doing minding your own business. And so whoever slashed the tire, whoever stole
Look
your
at the
shoe,
shoe.
gon' they not gonna get away with it because
Right.
karma is gonna come and slap them right in the
That's
face.
right. That's
So
right.
don't
That's
worry
right.
yourself with that. I can't worry about my cameras and everything. Okay, so it might not have no internet. Okay, cool. Well, I have family here, so I'm gonna go to my uncle. And if my uncle is busy, guess what? I live around all kind of hotels that have
Right.
internet
Right.
and have a business room where
Right.
I will host my show in if I need
There
to.
you go. There
See,
you go.
knowing how that there is a solution. My grandmother used to tell me, baby,
That's
it's
right.
always one way to skin a cat.
That's right. That's right.
We, before we think of the solution, oh my gosh, we instantly go into panic mode. And in reality, we don't understand that all we're doing is stressing ourselves more than what needs to be done.
That's
Where if
right.
we just say,
That's it.
okay, God,
That's it.
show me the way.
That's it.
I had to learn how to breathe. I had to learn how to say, God, show me the way. And I had to learn and understand when I'm being tested. See, I know that I'm at my breakthrough right now. And at a major breakthrough where literally everything I have asked God for is literally coming to fruition.
Love it.
So,
Amen.
I mean, it's just like boom, boom, boom. And the enemy just doing his job. See, we have to understand
Right.
you want to get mad, but why?
Right.
He
Right.
doing his job. That's what his job is. That's like
That's
if
what his job is.
you and you supposed to be ringing them up and checking them out, but you don't do. You doing your job.
Right.
Well, the enemy doing his job. His job is to steal, kill, and
Right.
destroy.
That's right.
That's his
That's
job.
right.
He
That's right.
doing his job. Why are
Right.
you angry that he doing his job? That's like somebody coming to you mad because you flipping fries or flipping burgers or
You ain't.
because
You
you
just doing
checking
your
them
job.
out or you because you cooking the way that the recipe goes or whatever it is, you doing your job and now somebody done cussed you out because you doing your job and you like, hey,
That's right.
I'm just doing my job.
That's right.
I'm just a worker here.
Right. Right.
Well, the enemy is the same way. He just a worker. He's just doing his job. And you
That's
have
it.
to accept the fact that he's doing what he's supposed to do.
That's it. And like you said,
You
either we can, yeah, I'm gonna say, like you said, either you can respond or you can react. You know,
exactly. And you have to learn that, guess what? You know what? I'm going to tear your kingdom down and I'm
that's
going
right.
to show you how I'm going to do it. So I'm not going to react to what I already see you trying to do. Because I could
Right.
have AT&T and baby, I was ready to let them have it.
Okay.
And I said, Lord, why? He said, I don't know. You just up here want to stress yourself out before
Right.
Thanksgiving.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm not supposed to do that. Like,
Yeah.
and then I thought about it and I said, you know what, God? Thank you. Thank you. And
Amen.
this is the reason why. And you say, well, why when you got all this stuff, Lady V? Yeah, I do. But even I need a break.
Right.
Even God has something else that he need me to concentrate and focus
That's
on. So
right.
sometimes he will take things that we need to be taken away so that we can
Right.
focus on the task at hand,
Amen.
on the assignment.
Amen.
And right
Right.
now, he needs me to be focused all day to say, hey, this is what we do. Because this is the third interview I've had today. Now, how did I schedule 3 interviews? I don't know, but I did. And then I had clients on top of,
Right.
that I'm helping on top of this. But guess what?
Right.
That was my
Right.
assignment for today.
That was your assignment.
Because he needed me to say, hey, somebody needed to hear these things. Somebody needed to hear that it's okay. Somebody needed to know that there is hope on the other
Right.
side. Somebody
That's
needed to
right.
know that they can pull through whatever it is that they're going through.
That's right.
But if I had my internet on,
Mhm.
I'd have been with all kind of other stuff. And I
Right.
would have given it to you. But it might not been everything that he wanted me to give to you.
Right. Right.
because I would have been distracted because I'd have been trying to do all this stuff, cook, do interviews, talk to clients, do you know what I'm saying? I would have been
Right.
doing all this stuff. And he said,
Right.
no, take a break, slow down. You don't
Right.
need to do all this stuff. You're stretching yourself too thin.
Right.
And you have to understand when you won't do it, God will do it for you.
Oh, yes, he will. Yes, he
He will
will.
do it for you.
Yes, he
And I
will.
ask God to do that. God, when you see me doing too much, slow me down.
And then when he does it, we're like, what?
Exactly. You wait, hey, wait a minute, God, wait a minute, I need to do. And he said, no, ma'am, no, ma'am,
Right.
stop.
Right.
Just stop.
Right.
Take
But I love
this
it.
to enjoy what's going on. Take this
Yeah,
time to focus, pour into people, cook your dinner like you said you would.
that's
Cook
right.
it, get it done. So tomorrow you ain't doing anything but resting and relaxing and enjoying your family or just
That's right.
enjoying your day to yourself.
That's
You're
right.
not stressing yourself out of, oh, I got to do this. I'm standing here in the kitchen trying to finish this, trying to do this, trying to do that. No, stay on task. And that's where we fail at as people. We forget because we have all these distractions coming to us.
Right. That's
And
right.
we think we need all these things. And God is telling us to slow down,
That's it.
breathe,
That's it.
breathe. It's okay to
Mm,
take a day off. It's okay to not have to do this. It's okay to not have to put on your Superman or your Superwoman cape. It's okay to
that's
take
right.
it off. Take some time for you to stay
Mm,
focused on the assignment and on the task at hand because we let all these other things distract us. See, if I
that's right.
had internet, I'd be scrolling. See, I'm
Mm,
supposed to talk y'all's language now, see, because I'm
that's right.
guilty. I'm guilty. I'm
All of it.
scrolling all on the face in the book, on the tick of the talker. I'm doing all catching these reels, laughing,
That's right.
not
That's
even
right.
understanding that I done spent a whole hour doing that when I
Yes.
should have been doing something else.
That's it.
See what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
Because it's easy to get off track. It's easy to lose focus. And I
Hmm.
could have been doing that. And then here I am now I'm trying to cook my dinner, trying to hold this, trying to do this. I'm running over here. My time is thin, this and that. But today, I've literally felt like, wow, I've had all this stuff. I actually did it and I don't feel rushed.
Right. 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 I
I'm
love it.
not feeling overwhelmed. I'm not like, oh my gosh, another interview. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be late or I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. And literally, hey, for me, I was late, even though I was on time. For me, I was late
Right.
because something else had came up right before I got on and said, "Hey, this and this and this is happening. This and this and you know what I'm saying." And like I said, people
Right.
knocking on my door because
Oh,
those are
absolutely.
distractions.
That's right.
Those are distractions, but I had to recognize them. And I instantly, hey, baby, I'm sorry. Yep, I'm sorry, but my cameras ain't working today. I hope that you find your shoes. I'm gonna pray for it though, because whoever got them, you gonna find them. She's like, I'm gonna slap whoever. All right, baby, well, slap them when you see them. I don't know, but hey, I got you.
Right. Right.
But calm down. It's gonna be okay because everything comes to the light. Everything done in the dark
That's
will
right.
come to the light. You're gonna
That's right.
watch. Somebody's gonna be walking around with your shoes because they forgot.
Right. That. That.
You don't see some kid walking around with your shoes because they forgot that they
Right.
stole them.
Right.
So it's okay, and
Right.
they will pop up, but we have to remember that everything doesn't need a response or a reaction.
That's right. You're right. You're right. I absolutely love all that you're saying because, you know, one thing that's important for people to remember is that, you know, we are, you know, we're spiritual beings living a human experience. So we're going to have the reaction. You may be like, I can't believe this happened. Just like you said, but they call AT&T and all of a sudden you're like, no, wait a minute. Let me wait. Let me stop. Let me breathe. It's always a matter of taking that pause. You know, we should not, you know, We should embrace the emotion. We should acknowledge that we're feeling a certain way because it's not wise for us to suppress our feelings. Because when we do that and we continue to do that, then next thing you know, when something happens, all of a sudden we're like that kettle pot that just starts whistling. All of a sudden, and next thing you know, we're popping off. You don't want to
Exactly.
get to that point. We want to
Mm-mm.
make sure that we're at a point where we're like, okay, wait a minute now. Yes, I'm angry about this. Yes, this is what happened. Now, how am I going to address this? And that's what
Exactly.
you've done. You've already thought it through. My cameras aren't working, my Wi-Fi isn't working. But wait a minute, I have people around me who can assist. So yes,
Hmm.
where it's an inconvenience and that bothers me, that's the human part of me saying, yeah, that bothers me, and I'm acknowledging that, but I don't have to live in it. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to live in that space. I don't have to live in that anger. I don't have to live in that frustration. I can express
Hmm.
that, oh man, this is just, oh, this is it feels yucky right now. I don't like it. But then you
Hmm.
turn around and say, okay, now that I've gotten that off my chest and now that I've acknowledged that this is what happened, now I can begin to take the steps to do what I need to do. And just like you said, sometimes there's nothing I can do right this minute, especially when it's something that's happening to somebody else, because their emergency is not yours.
Come on now.
You were not sitting around waiting for things to happen to somebody else that you can put on your cape and save them. You know,
Exactly.
you should have been going on about your father's business because hopefully you up that morning and say, Lord, what is it that you would have me to do for you today in your name so that your light may shine through me and that others may
Exactly.
see that. But it doesn't
Exactly.
mean that oh my goodness, I got to drop everything that I'm doing to assist
Come
that
on.
person. Okay,
Come on.
because they have a toolbox inside them too, and we have to learn how to use those things too.
Exactly.
We are, especially as women, sometimes we are notorious for enabling people. And
We all we
unless you
do.
have a trunk full of crutches and you giving them out to everybody on the street that you see, you are not to enable everybody, but to encourage and uplift them and to help them to be stewards of things that are going on in their lives because their lives are not yours.
Exactly. I teach people that every day, and and I was just telling them, like, at the end of the day, ask yourself this, because tomorrow ain't promised to us. So I like to be real. I like to be very blunt and transparent with them. If you die today, what they gonna do? Who they gonna call on?
Right.
See, you run into your job every time they call you because they know you'll come.
That's right.
They know that you will show up and you will be there whether you want to or not. So they do it because they know you will.
Right.
But guess what? If you die today, you better know that in the morning they done already filled your position soon as you're dead.
Soon. Ink
Soon
ain't
as you're
dry.
dead. You ain't even all the way dead yet. You know what I'm saying?
But he's still warm. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
You are
you know what I'm saying? They ain't even barely told your family that you was dead yet. They
right.
had already filled your position. See, that's
Okay.
how much you mean. And you have to understand that people are the same way. You do so much for people every day. And if you were to die today, guess what? In the next second, they're gonna say, "Oh, they dead. Well, let me call so and so." Or let me go and they either gonna figure it out on their own,
Right.
or they gonna
Right.
call the next person that allows them to do these things to them as well. So
Right.
why continue to put yourself in that situation and be the one? That's why I tell people, baby, I am not the bag lady. I used to be the bag lady. I used to be the bag lady. I'm not the bag lady, baby. When
Right.
you leave, I need, baby, here go your luggage, baby. Here your bag is, baby. Let me give this back to you,
So you with
honey.
you.
Yeah, baby, I'm gonna need you to take that with you. Cause see, that's
That's
not
it.
my problem. I can
Right.
give you the tools, I can help you, I can coach you, I can talk to you, I can listen all day. But when you leave, I need you to know that your problems just left with you.
That's right.
I didn't pick it up
He
and
didn't
take it
stay.
with me because it ain't mine. And I used to be that. I used to be her because I'm trying to fix you. I'm trying to fix them. I'm trying to fix me. I'm just the fix it lady, and I ain't
Right.
fixing nothing. And I
Right.
had to realize that, baby, I can't fix it, baby. I couldn't fix myself. But I know
Right.
a man that can.
Amen.
I know a man
Mhm.
that can. And
That's right.
with a big G, not a little G, with
That's
a big
right.
G.
That's
See,
right.
he got all the power
That's right.
in his hand. And I can tell you how to get there. I can guide you down Navigation Street.
Yes.
I can do that. But baby,
Yes.
I can't fix it for you.
That's it.
The only person that I could fix was me.
That's it.
Now,
That's it.
I can tell you how I got my peace. I can tell you how I got my freedom. I could tell you the steps that I took because I don't mind sharing the gifts. I don't mind sharing the journey. I don't mind sharing that. But what I ain't gonna do is I ain't gonna give you mine.
Right.
I ain't gonna say, here go my peace and freedom. You can have it, girl.
No.
No. And I ain't gonna let you come and take it. Because I work too
Right.
hard to get it. So I ain't
Right.
gonna come and put all your stuff on me and then drop it and be like, all right, girl, I'll talk to you later.
Mm-mm.
Because we got friends that do that. They come, they
Yes.
call us, they don't really ask us how we doing or nothing. They just, girl, let me tell you about this and blah, blah, blah. Woo, woo, woo. That. And when they through venting and they through sharing and they through hollering and cussing and fussing,
Right.
they still ain't asked you how you was doing, but they was like, girl, and you done helped them and done calm them down and everything. And they're like, all
Right.
right, girl. Well, I know that's right. Well, girl, I'll talk to you later.
Right.
And now they feeling better. And now you stuck like the hell
Right.
just happened.
Right. Would you
And now
just
you
put on me?
feeling down and depressed and you know what I'm saying? You trying to figure out how to fix this and
Right. Right.
baby, let them have it. Baby, I let them come. I let them express. I let them say what they gonna say. And when they done, I'll be like, all right, baby, there you go. And I give them what they gonna get and I send it back with them.
That's it.
It ain't mine. So why are you
And
trying
let
to
it
give it
go.
to me? No, I don't want it. And they
Right.
be like, well, what you want me to do? I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but take it back because it's
I
yours.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love
You
it.
know?
One thing that I said, you have the right to tell somebody you don't know. You have a right to tell that person, okay, I still want to have my dignity. I still want to have my respect. I still want to have my peace. I'm still
Exactly.
going to have my peace. I can share with you, I can assist you, I can support you, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to let you steal the peace that is mine. And I'm not going to
Exactly.
let you dump on me and now I'm stuck trying to grapple out of your mess.
Exactly.
Because people will
You
leave
can
it
dump,
on you, like you
but
said,
you
and they'll
just
keep
dump it
coming
on the
back for
flow.
you to pick it up. Remember what I told you last week? And remember, no, I released that. You got to start again because I don't even remember what you was talking about because I released that. That was like you said, that was last week. I'm on today. So,
Exactly.
so I don't have it for you. I don't have it for you. But just like you said, it's so important that we get to that place where we can awaken again, like you said, that rebel that's within us so that we can get to that place of being able to be our greatest source of strength because it
Exactly.
starts from within. And with that,
Exactly.
I just want to talk about, we want to talk about the importance of being able to reclaim your purpose and strengthening your relationships and transforming your lives. And how can they begin to do that? What are some of the steps that they can begin to take initially?
Be honest with you. That's your first thing. A lot of us ain't honest with ourselves. We up here lying and sugarcoating and masking and all this whole weird stuff because we don't want other people to know. Because we so worried about what other people gonna think, what other people gonna say. Guess what? Don't nobody care. Don't care about what other people think. You need to be
Right.
caring about what God think about you. See,
That's
we
right.
so worried about what other men think that we forget that one day we gotta get to him.
We don't answer.
Yeah, we don't have to answer to him.
That's right.
He gonna be when we get there. He gonna have some questions
That's
that he won't answer,
right. That's right.
and
That's
you
right.
don't have to answer those questions.
That's
You don't
right.
have to answer them. And so I'm not down here trying to answer man's question.
Right.
I'm trying to get it right. So
Right.
when I go before my father, all I want him to do is say, "Child, well done."
That's it. My good and faithful servant. That's right.
Yeah, I don't want him looking in the book. Well,
Right.
let me see. right here on
Right.
on March of 1920. You know,
Right. Right.
uh,
Okay. But he
you
got the
know,
whole file.
yeah, you know, it's wrote down.
That's right.
Everything it's wrote.
That's right.
It's there.
Right.
I don't
Right.
want him to do that. I want him to be able to say, you know what, you did have all of these, but
Right.
no charge,
Bam.
no charge.
Bam. That's it.
Job well done
That's
because
it.
you did. But then you showed the enemy just who you were.
Right. Right.
Because I sold myself to the devil. And I can tell you that I sold myself to the devil because by the age of 21, I was a high priced call girl.
Mm.
I was running through life, mad, angry, furious, all these things, emotionally unavailable, just going through life, just lost,
Yeah.
begging for somebody to save me. And they wasn't trying to save me, they was trying to take advantage of me and my vulnerability. And because I'm so headstrong, I didn't even know I was being vulnerable. I didn't even know I was in a vulnerable state. I didn't even know that I was in an abusive relationship or an abusive marriage until somebody actually told me, because that's how strong I am.
Mm.
And sometimes our strength is our weakness
Right.
because we can be so strong that we dumb and that we blinded. And I was dumb and blinded. I can say that. See, I'm not afraid to share my truth. I'm not afraid to say this is what I went through.
Right.
But I can tell you how I overcame it
Right. That's
because I
right.
had to overcome these obstacles that standing in my way. And that was one of them, wanting somebody to save me. I had to learn how to save myself. Wanting somebody to love me, I had to learn how to love myself.
Right.
Once I started doing that, which means that I started being honest with me, I stopped lying to myself.
Right.
I stopped caring about what other people thought of me. I started to release those limited beliefs that people told me that I wasn't enough, that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't going to amount to anything, that I wasn't going to be anything. I let them go because I started being honest with myself.
Right.
And I had to understand. I said, God, you created me in your own image. And if you did that, why am I feeling not worthy?
Right.
Why am I feeling like I'm not enough? He said, because you allow men to make you feel like that. You allow man to make you feel like that. It ain't because I told you that you wasn't enough. It ain't because I told you that you wasn't worthy. You came on this earth worthy. You came on this earth royalty.
Man. That's right.
You lost your royalty. I didn't tell you that. You let man tell you that you wasn't enough. You let man tell you that you wasn't worthy. But guess what? I told you. The first to be last and the last to be first.
That's it.
And so they counted you out. That's okay. Because now it's to make your enemy your footstool. Now it's to make everybody who said that you wasn't nothing. I'm allow them to watch you be somebody.
Amen.
I'm gonna allow them to sit and watch you like an audience.
Mm-hmm.
And you gonna be center stage. What you gonna do with it?
That's right. I love it.
Ignoring my greatness because they told me that I couldn't. I'm not with no limited beliefs. I'm not gonna hold on to my old baggage. I'm not gonna hold on to those old narratives that's holding me down. I'm not gonna do that. I'm releasing all of that. And as I release that, then I'm gonna start overcoming the obstacles again that stand in my way. That's what I had to do. And once I started to do that and I started to overcome them, baby, the rebel within started to awaken and get live. And the little girl was like, hey, we is here.
Yes.
Let me out. I am ready. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. And at first I was like, girl, shut up. Calm down. No. We're not letting you out. She's like, why? Let me
Right.
go.
Right.
I started to build my own confidence in a different type
That's
of
it.
way. I let her out, and now she's roaring. She's awakened, and so
That's
the
it.
rebel inside me has been released,
That's right.
and now I am rising to the occasion and showing people that guess what? I am not what you said I am.
That's right.
I
That's
am
right.
not who you said I was. I do not reside at the address you left me at.
Mm. That's right.
I don't do any of this. Why? Because I'm going to stand here on top of the mountain, baby, like the Lion King, baby, and I'm going to roar,
Yes.
roar, and roar. And you can't
Okay. That's right. Adjust
get
your crown. That's right.
That's right. And I had to know that my crown was tilted, but I had to learn how to fix it.
That's right.
And I couldn't allow man to do it.
Right.
I had to heal that broken little girl and let her know that I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry for not giving her a chance. I'm sorry for not knowing. I'm sorry for the forgiveness. I'm sorry for the things that I put her through because of
Mhm.
my stubbornness, because of my anger, because of my hate, because of my hurt.
Right.
But now I'm gonna give her a chance. I'm gonna give her a chance. She can actually rest now and allow Lady V to just take over because I'm supposed to do some things that she didn't get
Mhm.
to do as a child, which was speak up because we were
Yes.
silenced as
Boy.
kids. Because we were told what happens in this house stays in this house. We wasn't to be seen or heard. And if
Right.
we was, what you in here for?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So we come from that era.
Right.
And now I, the one thing that I appreciate about this Gen Z, because there's not a lot of things that I appreciate about it. It's not, it's just the one
Right.
thing that I do is the fact that they're teaching us how to literally stand up for us.
Yes.
They're teaching us that it's okay for us to use our voice,
That's right.
and we need to do that.
That's it.
And
That's
so
it.
now I'm not afraid. I don't care what people think. I don't care what they say. I don't care how they feel because it ain't their story.
That's right.
It's
Amen.
and if I
Amen.
can use my story to help one person overcome and roar in their greatness,
Yes.
I have done what God has called me to do.
Just one. Amen.
Just one, just
Amen.
one.
I love that because you know what it is? It's not that you're no longer agreeing with them. You're agreeing with who God says you are.
That's right.
And,
That's
and once you do that, like you said, the doors will open and the opportunities will come. The manifestations come as a result of that. And you have proven that. And you are teaching others to do the exact same thing. And for that, it's always going to be a blessing. You're always going to be a blessing. You're always going to be in a place of favor because you are doing the things that He has called you to do.
yeah.
And so like I said, with that, I want to thank you for sharing that vital information because this is something that's so important and sharing our stories and sharing things that are going on in our lives. We're teaching people, like you said, to become that rebel, to be able to say, okay, I'm going to walk in that truth. I'm going to be that person that God says that I am, and
Mhm.
for that, we're going to forever be grateful. Okay. Well, what I want to do is I know that time is winding down and we can talk on and on and on, and we can talk for a whole nother hour, and that's okay. It's my show. You can come back. That's all right.
Okay.
Because I'm all about coming back. Okay. Because
Hey, I
again,
would love.
what is happening today may not be what's happening in 2 hours, 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years from now. So you can always come back because you'll always have another story to tell that's going to take us another step closer and putting things in our toolbox box that are going to help us to be the best versions of ourselves. And that's where we want to be. So first, I want to ask you, how can people get in contact with you and can render your services? What is a way that they can get in contact with you? A website, anything like that, they can get in contact with you.
So you can actually find me at Linktree, and you'll find everything on there from the podcast, even this one as well, from all the podcasts that I've done, all my social medias and link handles and things like that. You'll be able to also book from there. You'll be able to catch my podcast, all these different things
Awesome.
that you'll be able to do off of Linktree, Lady VENP. And so that's
Okay.
the E for Elliot, the N for night, and the P for professional. So Lady VENP on Linktree, and you'll be able to find that. And if you book uh, uh, for your free consultation, you'll get a free consultation with me. But if you say Rebel and you say that you saw it, because the only way you can see it is if you saw a me on a podcast. That's the only way, and it's
Yes.
always at the end because I'm not gonna tell you during it.
All
Okay,
right.
so you literally have to watch the whole show to catch
Whole
it.
show.
The
So
whole
that.
show. Yes, to catch it. But if you say Rebel, you will actually receive 15% off of the course. Um, and it's a 21-week course, Awaken the Rebel Within, Release, Rebuild, Rebrand Your Voice. And I teach you how to roar in your greatness. So if you see this show and you say Rebel, you will receive 15% off automatically.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So we're gonna put the link tree link in the description for the show, but we are not going to tell you Rebel because don't cheat. We're not going to cheat. You don't have to, don't cheat us to beat us. Okay, we don't want to do
That
that. So make sure
Don't
that
beat yourself. Put it like that.
that's
Don't beat yourself because you're
big
gonna want
self.
this information so
There you
you
go.
can know why you need to come take this course.
Yes. And again, that's Linktree/Lady VENP. T as in Paul, N as in Nancy, E as in Edward. Lady VNP. And like I said, that will be in the description when the show airs. Okay. And so I have one more question I always ask my guests at the end of every show. How are you living in the now? What are you doing to create your peaceful existence?
Baby, what they say, I'm living my best life, which
Amen.
means that I'm holding on to my peace. I'm holding on to my freedom. I got my boundaries. I have set them. You cannot come in them. You cannot deter them. You cannot, baby, if I tell you no, that's what I mean.
A complete
If I say
sentence.
yes, that's what I mean. Anything other than that, baby, it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
so
right.
I have learned how to do just that right there. And I am living my best life. I take every opportunity and make the best of it. I don't deny unless it's not going with my mission. If it's
Right.
not going with my mission and my vision, then we not doing
Yes.
we ain't
That's
talking
it.
about it. Like I'm not doing
Makes
no
sense.
extra. But if it's following my mission and my vision, then I'm all on board with it. I am not afraid. And that's what we need to get out. I want to tell you that right now. It's sitting in my spirit. And so I gotta say this for whoever is listening
Yes.
needs to hear this right now because when God put it on my spirit, I gotta give it to you.
Amen.
Fear will kill you. Fear will hinder you from being your greatest self. God said He does not give us a heart of fear, even though we walk through fear. We hold on to fear. Let your fear go. Let your guard down because you are missing opportunities and leaving money on the table because you are allowing your fear to overcome who you are.
Right.
And so release your fear and tell yourself, whatever it is, I can do this. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. That's
Right.
my faith, Philippians 4:13. I
That's
can
right.
do all things through Christ which strengthens me. That's the one thing who that's the one verse literally that actually helped me get through this journey. It helped me along
Mm.
the way. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me because
Amen.
I didn't have the strength on my own to
That's right.
do it. And I was afraid. And talking about me has always been the hardest thing for me because I was never allowed to talk about me.
Right.
And so I had to jump out there and step on my fear and step out on my faith
Right.
and know
That's
that
right.
I'm doing the assignment that I've been called to do, the
That's it.
assignment that I have been chosen to do, because I was more than just called, but baby, I didn't want this assignment. Let me just say, I wanted me to take it back. but
Right.
he said, I chose you. And
Right.
so now I walk in it gracefully. And that's
That's
how
it.
I live my best life. Is
That's it.
because I am not afraid to do what I've been called to do.
Dude.
And because I walk in it gracefully, it's actually a peace for me.
Yes.
And they say, well, how do you do that? And you tell yourself, because I'm already healed from my past. I don't,
That's
again,
it.
don't live at that address
That's
anymore.
it. That's
And when
right.
you can be healed from your past, you would talk about it all day and it never phase you. And guess what? After this, I'm going to finish my cooking. I'm going to go do what I want to do. And I'm going to go to sleep and sleep like a baby tonight and not even think
Like a
about it.
baby.
I'm going to wake up and enjoy my family. And on Friday, I'm going to come and talk about it again. Okay. And that's
There you go. Bam. Okay. Look,
yeah.
the end. Okay. All right. All right. Well, honey, like I said, I thank you for sharing space with me, for sharing your wisdom, for helping to put a few more tools in the toolbox for those who needed to hear those things. Like you said, release your fear. That is the biggest thing that you can do to begin overcoming those things that are standing in your way. Okay. And so, with that, I want to thank you for being on the show. I want to thank you and let you know that you are now part of the How Now family. There's always a virtual space on the virtual couch for you to come anytime to share the things that are happening in your now.
Hey, thank you so very much for having me. I truly gratefully appreciate it. And I pray that this helps somebody. And I know that you're going to be great in everything that you do, and that your podcast is actually going to be better than you want it to be, than you could even imagine it to be. It's actually going to go further than what you think right now. So, hey,
Amen. I
enjoy
received
it and
that.
embrace it
I
because it's
received that. Okay. And happy holidays to everyone.
hey,
Like she said, it's Thanksgiving. Focus on the family and the fellowship and not the food. Okay. So if something gets burnt out, remember that you're there to be with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones. And even if it's just loving on you, do that. Do that. Okay, so enjoy this holiday season. Take these wonderful, nuggets of wisdom with you wherever you go. Again, so now we're gonna close the toolbox for right now, but know that it's going to be open again very, very soon to add more things to make the best version of yourself. And with that, I say this will do it for the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. And until we see you the next time, say peace.